The doorbell rang. Elon's assistant quickly moved to answer it, returning moments later with a confused look and an official-looking envelope. "Mr. Musk, it's a court summons. It's addressed to X," she said, holding it out. Elon raised his eyebrows. "To my son. That's impossible." He tore the envelope open, scanning the document inside. As he read, his confusion turned to shock. "This has to be some kind of joke," he muttered. But it wasn't. The letter clearly stated that XAA12 Musk was being summoned to appear before the Supreme Court on contempt charges. It was signed by none other than Justice Amy Coney Barrett. X, noticing his father's troubled expression, asked, "What's wrong, Dad?" "Nothing, buddy. Just some grown-up stuff," Elon replied, ruffling his son's hair. But his mind was racing. How could his 5-year-old son be involved in a Supreme Court case? He immediately contacted his legal team. "I need answers. Now. My 5-year-old son just got a court summons from the Supreme Court. Signed by Justice Barrett. Figure this out." Within an hour, his attorneys had placed numerous calls. But the more they uncovered, the stranger things became. Apparently, there had been a case involving a tech company called XC Corp, entirely unrelated to Elon's ventures. The company's representative, a man named Xavier, often referred to as X in court filings, had been cited for contempt by Justice Barrett. Due to a clerical glitch, the court system had mistakenly matched the name X with Elon Musk's son, whose unique name prominently includes the letter X. The automated system generated a summons without human oversight and mailed it. "So you're saying that my son received a Supreme Court summons just because his name contains the letter X?" Elon asked in disbelief. "That's what it looks like, sir," his lawyer confirmed. "And there's more. The contempt charge includes a $50,000 fine." Elon laughed out loud. "They're fining my 5-year-old 50 grand for not showing up to a case he has nothing to do with?" "Technically, yes, but we'll get this resolved right away." Elon glanced at his son, who was happily building a block tower, completely unaware of the legal chaos swirling around him. The whole thing was absurd, but also unsettling. How could such a monumental error occur at the nation's highest court? "Dad, want to play rockets with me?" X asked. "In a minute, buddy," Elon replied, turning back to his phone. He had a choice: let the lawyers handle it quietly, or do what he did best, go public. With a smirk, he opened his social media app and began typing. "My 5-year-old just got fined $50,000 by the Supreme Court. Justice Barrett, I think there's been a mix-up." He attached a redacted photo of the summons, careful to conceal private details, then hit post. What happened next was unexpected, even for Elon. His post went viral in minutes. The absurdity of the situation caught fire. Hashtags like #FreeChildX and "Ours Kid vs Supreme Court" trended globally. Memes poured in. One showed little X in a judge's robe sitting on stacked law books to reach the bench. Another featured Justice Barrett chasing a toddler with a gavel. Elon's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. His post was shared millions of times. Some commenters expressed outrage. Others thought it was a publicity stunt. "Why are you laughing? At your phone, Dad?" X asked as he climbed onto the couch. "People think you're very important," Elon replied gently. By lunchtime, the story had hit every major news network. Headlines read, "Supreme Court targets, kindergartner in legal. Blunder and 5-year-old faces nation's highest court." Elon's legal team was now flooded with media inquiries, while simultaneously working to clear up the error with the court. The Supreme Court's Public Affairs Office released a short statement acknowledging a possible clerical mistake under review, but that only fueled speculation. Meanwhile, in her chambers, Justice Amy Coney Barrett was handed a stack of printouts by a frantic aide. "Justice Barrett, there's a situation online involving you," the aide said. Reading through the material, her expression shifted from confusion to disbelief. "This is ridiculous. Are you telling me our system issued a contempt citation to a child?" "Yes, Your Honor, and not just any child, Elon Musk's son." Justice Barrett closed her eyes. Of all people for a system glitch to involve, it had to be the child of the most followed man on social media. "Get me the clerk of the court immediately and draft a formal apology. We're fixing this today." Back at Elon's home, X was growing curious. "Am I in trouble, Dad?" he asked during lunch, sandwich in hand. "No, buddy. Some adults just made a mistake with your name. That's all. But everyone's talking about me." "They are, but it'll all be over soon." Just then, Elon's phone rang again. "Mr. Musk," his lawyer said, "Justice Barrett's office has issued a formal retraction of the summons and fine. They're extremely sorry for the error." "That's good to hear," Elon said. "There's more. Justice Barrett wants to speak with you personally to apologize." Elon paused. "Tell her I appreciate the offer, but I have a better idea." After the call, he turned to his son. "Hey, X, how would you like to dress up as a judge for Halloween this year?" X's eyes lit up. "Can I have one of those hammer things?" "It's called a gavel. And yes, we'll get you one." Elon posted again, this time including a picture of X in a makeshift robe and a caption. "Should my 5-year-old accept Justice Barrett's apology in person? Maybe he could tour the Supreme Court and learn about justice." The internet exploded again. Polls showed 65% of people wanted X to visit the court. The post was shared over 3 million times in 2 hours. Back in Washington, Justice Barrett was overwhelmed. "This is highly irregular," she said, removing her glasses. Her clerk ventured, "With respect, this could be an opportunity. The court is trying to appear more open. This might humanize us." Another added, "It was our mistake. Not responding might seem cold." Justice Barrett weighed the dilemma. A private institution facing an intensely public moment. Arrange a call with the Chief Justice. "I can't decide this alone." At the same time, Elon was speaking with his PR team. "This is marketing gold," one insisted. "We should ride the momentum." But Elon had a deeper concern. If this could happen to my kid, what happens to people without money or fame? He continued, "Let's pivot. We've joked enough. Let's talk about the real issue, how automated systems can wreck lives." His team hesitated, unsure. "You really want to take it in that direction?" Yes, Elon said firmly. Sometimes the best truths start with laughter. He glanced over at X, now wearing Elon's bathrobe like a judge's robe and banging a wooden spoon against a pillow. "Order! The Rocket Bear is guilty!" X shouted. Elon smiled and took a picture. Perfect for his next post. Meanwhile, Justice Barrett finalized a carefully written invitation to Elon, offering a private no-cameras tour for X and a personal apology. But before she could send it, a clerk rushed in. "Justice Barrett, you need to see this." It was Elon's latest post. A photo of X dressed as a judge, accompanied by a thoughtful message on the dangers of automated justice systems and how the vulnerable are most at risk. He ended it with, "Justice Barrett, instead of a private apology, how about a public conversation about fixing the system? My 5-year-old figured out court in an afternoon. Surely we grown-ups can do better." Justice Barrett stared at the screen. The moment had transformed. This wasn't just about a clerical error anymore. Elon Musk had just publicly challenged her to a conversation on judicial reform. And the world was watching. In their hallway mirror, X tried on his new real judge's robe. It dragged along the floor despite being the smallest available. "Dad, it's too big," he said. "That's okay, buddy," Elon replied, rolling up the sleeves. "It means you're still growing into justice." What began as a ridiculous, bureaucratic error had turned Elon's son into a national symbol. People were sending him law books, mini gavels, even miniature court benches. And while his team had feared that seriousness would kill the momentum, the opposite happened. Elon's message struck a chord. People began sharing their own stories of legal misfires. Senators and lawyers were speaking up. Through it all, the image of little X in his robe became something bigger,